Test 1 2. Can y'all hear me out there? I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. All right, let me know what's happening. So let's get started. Burn my damn finger. Check the mic and make sure it sounds right, boys. Can y'all hear that? Make sure y'all hear that. Burn my damn finger. Check the mic and make sure it sounds right, boys. Can y'all? Okay, you can hear it. All right, let's see. Test 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Let's see how we're sounding. You can hear that? Yes, you can. All right, so y'all gotta bear with me. Trying to make this here audio thing work. And I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the part that's like, all right, cool. Let's make this happen. So I think I got it figured out. I think, for the most part, anyway. All right. Burn my damn finger. Check the mic and make sure it sounds right, boys. All right, welcome to Make It Make Sense podcast with me, your host, Justin Meat Peaks. I am here to talk with you guys about anything, everything, uncut, unscripted, and unapologetic. First things first, this is episode 0. So it's not episode 1, we're going with episode 0 because this is the intro. This is all brand new. We're going to see what happens. We're going to make this thing work out. I'm going to do the best that I can with what I got, and what I got is me. So, let's get into this. So today's, it's not really an episode. Let's just call it what it is. This is an introduction to what I'm trying to accomplish, who I am, what it is you can expect from this, and why you should follow, share, like, comment, all of the above, because that's really what this is all about. So, and part of me introducing my podcast and kind of explaining to you guys what it means when I say make it make sense, because one, first and foremost, you understand that I'm a father of 4. So as a father, having 3 boys and a little girl, I'm constantly trying to figure out what my kids are doing and does it make sense. Like, I need them to make it make sense, and not only for them, but also for like the adults that I work with or that I'm around. Like, I gotta tell adults sometimes, like, I need you to make it make sense. I need you to make it make sense to me. Like, how does that work? So, without further ado, let's get into this. So, I want to kind of make this a 2-part thing. I want to give you a sample of what I'm doing now that you have a better understanding of what I'm doing or what I want to do here. But I want to talk about anything and everything that possibly comes to mind. I had a friend who told me that I should just do a show or do some type of vlog or video YouTube channel where I just cook food, talk shit, and, every once in a while drop some knowledge. So, what I decided, I want to do a combination of all of the above. The podcast came off as something that's a little bit easier to get done right away. Y'all have to excuse the sound of my dog in the background. He's being an ass right now, messing with the cat. But, so I realized that a lot of people had their hands in this, or they've played a part in, motivating me or kind of telling me that I should do a podcast or these different things that I should do. And I realized that there's a lot of different people who had stuff to say. And I'm be honest with you, I don't really know if I should shout them all out at one time because I don't want anybody to catch, feelings or get mad that I don't shout them out. So I figure since this is the intro episode, I'm gonna start where it needs to start at, with who is the reason why I'm doing the podcast, or what people put the podcast thought in my head. So first and foremost, shout out to my cousin Brandon, my cousin Montel, and my brother Derek. So these three guys are the reason why podcast even made it into my mind. Like, they're the reason why I'm even on a microphone right now talking to you guys. So my cousins and my brother, they've been planning to do a podcast for the longest time. Now, not everybody, obviously, none of you guys, well, not going to say none, but most of you guys probably have never met my brother and my cousins and so forth and so on. But these guys are some of the funniest people that I know. And if you know them, then you know they're funny as well. So, so these guys been planning to do a podcast for so long, and my having the background experience in radio and TV broadcasting, I had a little bit more insight as to what kind of equipment we might need. And not to say that they didn't, but I know that they were doing a whole lot of the planning phase, and they were talking about, we got to get this equipment and what are we going to talk about and so forth and so on. And the person that I am, I'm the type of person I'm like, well, it's got to make sense. We can't just be talking about anything. But then I realized, yes, you can. But more importantly, I'm like, how the fuck does a podcast work? So my part, I started researching and started looking into podcasts and hey, how does one make a podcast? Like, where do you go? So I started to do the research, and I found the websites, and I found the information, and getting the music and so forth and so on, and then the different software. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I just sat on it. I sat on it like a jackass. I just sat on it. I just had it. And not that I didn't share it with them. I just had it. I'm like, all right, I figured it out. And I didn't do anything with it. I didn't go anywhere with it. I didn't, take it and run with it. I just kind of was like, all right. But then I was like, for a hot second, I was like, well, maybe I'll just start a podcast just so I can get the nitty gritty of it get the niche of it, figure it out. And then I'll pass it off to them and support them. And I'm going to still do that, for sure. I'm not going to keep this to myself. That's not how I roll. And one for sure, that's not how you do family. So that's why I'm here now doing a podcast, is because my cousins and my brother put the idea in my head. And then over the last few months, pandemic wise and being in house, I just had to find something to do that, allow me to be more creative, or to tap into that itch I've been having, to just do something different. And it started with models, and here we are now. You guys are going to listen to me talk about whatever. And that's just how that's going to go down. So most importantly, to all the people who are watching, this podcast is being recorded as we speak. I just discovered in the midst of me setting this up, that there's a way that I can actually go live with my podcast, and then it has an option for me to invite people in and to have those people have guests. So I just figured this out not even 2 minutes before I started recording. So I'm really excited to do that, because I was trying to figure out how can I have people come in here and join me and have these conversations with me. So it's exciting to know that there's actually a very easy way to do that. But let's get over into the meat of this situation. And so the podcast that I have in mind, I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about as much as I possibly can, with as many people as I possibly can. I want to be funny. I want to have some serious conversations. I definitely am going to talk shit. So we need to cover some things. Now, technically, I was going to make this my first episode, but I'm now just going to say it's episode 0, the introductory episode. And the theme for today's episode is trust. And the reason why today's theme is trust is because, and I'm going to look into this camera because I have my phone going and I have my computer going. So I'm kind of trying to find a happy medium to catch you guys for the video. But the theme is trust. And the reason why I chose trust to be the first thing that I talk about is because I have to gain your trust
in some form or fashion for you to believe that this podcast, these videos that I'm going to be posting, is worth your time, your subscription, your like, your comment, more importantly, your share. So I'm here to gain your trust. Now, that's going to be quite difficult to do if you don't know me. And that's why I'm starting with the people that do know me. But more importantly, let's talk about trust. So I thought about this and I thought about how I want to go about talking about trust. And trust is literally, 5 letters. TRUST. Trust. A 5 letter word, but it holds so much power and it has so much weight on how you interact with people. And you talk about, who you trust and why you trust them. But then I kind of had to play with that idea just a little bit of, what makes people trust? What makes you trust somebody? And, the funny thing about it is I'm going to look in the camera at this one. Do you trust me more if I tell you I love you? Or do you trust me more if I tell you that I don't like you? Now, that seems well, of course I would trust you more if I love you, but if I'm willing to tell you to your face that I don't like you, does that mean I'm not worthy of your trust? Because I'm being honest with you, right? So trust is a very funny thing that way. So with this podcast, or this particular episode, I want to gain your trust. And I thought about that. And I'm like, I can go real deep. I can talk about how you trust your loved ones, how you trust the woman that you marry or the man that you marry more than you trust the woman or the man that raised you. You find that different person in your life and you trust them. I thought I can go real deep. I thought I can go a little off the rails and say, I don't trust people who blow their nose and don't look in the paper towel or the napkin after they blow it. I don't trust you. Because if you're not going to look to see what just came out of your body, I don't know if you're somebody I can trust. Because that's kind of scary. Like, how do you not want to know what came out of your body? So I don't know. I mean, again, trust is one of those fun things where, it definitely is hard to gain, easy to lose. Which it's like, is it weight? Because, that's weight. Like, I can gain weight like super easy, or I can lose it super easy depending upon how much work I put into it. Like, is that how trust works? Because that's how weight works. Like, weight works the same way. It's like, oh my god, it's so hard to put on weight, or it's so hard to lose weight. It's so hard to gain trust. It's so hard to lose trust. I just think trust is one of those things where it's all about how willing you are to be vulnerable. And I don't mean like vulnerable in a bad way. I mean vulnerable in the sense of to trust someone, like to really trust someone, just means that you are willing to open yourself up to whatever they have to say or whatever experience they're going to take you through. And it's not necessarily a sense of it's going to be good for you. It's just literally opening up that door to let someone in. Because, like, for instance, I love my mother. My mother is my last living parent. I love her with all my heart. But I don't trust her when it comes to, like, making decisions about what electronics to buy. But I trust her enough to let her tell me what decisions she's going to make on what electronics to buy. So, I feel like trust is one of those things where it definitely has its ups and its downs, its perks and whatnot. And I'm here to gain your trust. So here's what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you very simply to do this for me. Okay? Trust is made up with 5 letters. That's if you can spell, that's how you spell trust. And I'm asking you, if you're listening to this now or watching me now, give me within 5 episodes. This one doesn't count. I need like the first 5 episodes. Within 5 episodes, if you don't like what I'm saying, if I haven't made you laugh, or if I haven't said anything that's like hit home for you and made it like enjoyable for you to be on this podcast, then by all means, feel free to take your like, your share, your follow, and you don't have to keep it here. But at least give me that. At least give me 5 episodes of me giving you as much of me as I possibly can. Because you just got to trust me. You got to trust me. This is going to be fun. Because I have so many things that I could just talk about. And if you know me, then you know that I'll talk about anything and anyone. But also that I'm not so stubborn to where I won't hear somebody else out, to where I won't have a conversation with them and talk about where they're coming from. Like, I'm just going to tell you right now, this is my show. And on my show, I'm going to say whatever I want. I'm going to cuss. I'm going to say inappropriate things, probably, most likely. I'm gonna say what I think and feel. And if you're offended by anything that I said, or you don't like anything that I've said, please talk to me about it, because then it allows for me to have a conversation with you and I get perspective. And it may not necessarily change what I think. It may not even change how I feel. But giving me that perspective allows me to move forward in a way that I can incorporate more people into the conversation, because now I'm speaking to the thing in them that you wanted to hear. And now I know that there are people out there who want to hear these things. Like, I need you to keep it real, man. I'm going to tell you right now, I know from the friends that I have on Facebook and Instagram, some of y'all is a little rude. But your rudeness allows for us to have great conversations, because I'm rude. But I'm not so rude to where I'm cut off from information. That's just where I'm at with this. So when it comes to this podcast thing, like I said, I want to make it a place where I can talk to you guys about anything. Again, I'm a father of 4. I'm going to talk to you about kids. I'm going to talk to you about marriage. I'm going to talk to you about relationships. I'm going to talk to you about what it means to be a black man in America. And for me, I'm going to tell you what I'm gonna tell you all the different things that I'm going through. I'm gonna tell you how I don't like certain things in life. For example, just because it's in my peripheral, and I've said this before, and it was on my previous Instagram. Like, I don't like the fact that vegan food has the names of meat in it. I don't like that. Like, don't get me wrong, one of my very good friends, she's a vegan chef and she kicks ass. And she can feel me on this if she can check me later if she wants to. But I hate the fact that it's called vegan chicken nuggets. Just call them vegan nuggets. Like, nugget is not a form of meat. It's actually just a cut. So take the damn chicken out. Like, just take it out. Like, why do you have to let me know that it's fake meat by calling it meat? Like, they're just anyway. That was just my little rant. This is the type of stuff that you're going to get on this podcast. But what I want you guys to understand is that on this podcast, I'm going to talk about anything and everything that I want to talk about, because I want to talk about it. I needed to, and it goes back to why this podcast is called Make It Make Sense. Like, make it make sense for me. Like, make it make sense for me. Help me out. Help me understand things. We're going to talk about everything. I'm the type of dude who believes in dragons. I just had this conversation not too long ago. Dragons existed, and then you got me fucked up if you think that dragons don't still exist today. I just feel like they somewhere, like, subterranean style, whatever. I think the government is something that we should talk about. I want to talk about Black Lives Matter. I want to talk about LGBTQ stuff. I want to talk about whatever the fuck y'all want to talk about. The difference is I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want, because this is my show. So let me just give you a couple of things. Just first and foremost, this show will be uncut. I already said that. 9 times out of 10, it will be unedited. I am not going to edit most of this stuff because I want you to get it as raw as possible. And thirdly, I'm teetering on this one, but I'm going to hold to it. I'm unapologetic. And when I'm saying unapologetic, doesn't mean that I'm not going to feel sorry if I hurt somebody's feelings. That's not what I'm saying. My intention is never to hurt anybody's feelings or to make them feel less than, or make them feel like their point or their perspective is something that's wrong and it doesn't vibe well with me. Therefore, I shun them. Not my thing. But what I will say is that I would never tell anyone to apologize to me when they say something and that's just how the fuck they feel. Like, that's just what it is. Like, if you're angry and you're like, fuck you, Justin, I hate your ass. Okay, that's fair. And then you come back to me, sorry, Justin, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. No, you meant that shit in that moment. But I am willing to let that moment go, and we can come back to it, and we can discuss, what caused you to feel that way. And then we can move forward from there. I'm not someone who's totally incapable of having a reasonable conversation as long as you make it make sense. You can ask anyone who knows me except for my ex. She'll tell you that I'm the craziest piece of shit she's ever met, and that, she wish she never met me, but she lying, because make it make sense. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, once again, y'all, I mean, I appreciate the shit out of everybody who's listening to me talk right now. And again, I'm going to be posting the recording of this podcast on podbean.com. I'm going to share all that information as soon as it's uploaded so that you guys have it. Shout out to YouTube for being very strict on their 24-hour before you can live stream guideline. Because I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to set up that live stream so I can use my live stream. And I did it like late last night. And I'm thinking, man, I should be able to use it by 6, right? No, they are like legit not letting me post live stuff on my YouTube channel just yet. So, yeah, I'm a little offended. But at the same time, I mean, kudos to them for like sticking to their guns on that. I really appreciate it. But damn, give a brother a break. Like, don't nobody just be sitting around ready to go live on YouTube just on the drop of a dime. But shit, if I needed to go live, this was not the time to hold me to 24 hours. But it is what it is. So I'm not getting off just yet because I looked it up. I did my research. A good podcast should be 15 to 30 minutes, and we ain't hit 30 minutes yet. So I'm going to keep going for a little bit. But again, shout out to everybody who's in here listening. I see on my Facebook feed, I see my girl Chef Noel has joined me and made some comments thus far. And I asked her a long time ago for her information, and I don't have it in front of me right now. But I definitely want to shout her out and promote her as much as I possibly can. For those of you who are on my Facebook page, you know that she and I were doing cooking shows during the pandemic times. Her and I would go live on Facebook, and we would not have a showdown of sorts, but we would definitely have a cook-off. And it wasn't a competition. It was she would make her version, which would be vegan, and I would make my version. And I love and miss those days. So, Chanel, I don't know how I can get you on this show with me to talk about what you got going on. But, girl, I'm going to reach out to you as soon as possible, especially since now that you have relocated to the Midwest. So you are much closer than California. Shout out to California for hosting my girl for as long as she was out there, even though she's born and raised. But she went back out there after college, and she held it down for a while. But now she's back in the Midwest. For those of you who are listening, make sure you hit up my girl, Chef Noel. She's out in the Columbus, Cleveland area, I believe. But I'll get y'all more information on that as time comes. Also see my Spesh Lala on there. What's going on, Spesh? Hit her up as well. She got the belly beads happening. I'm shooting out everybody, who is going to be in here support me. I see on my Instagram. Shout out to HB the Boss. Honey Brits, check her out on twitch.com. She's going to be getting back into her groove on there as well. So trust and believe, I'm not out here trying to make this big just for me. I'm trying to reach out and touch as many people as I can. And the only way I can do that is by making sure I connect with the right people. And I'm going to tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, only people that I don't think are the right people are people out there who is trying to manipulate and use me for their greater good and not support me and lift me up in the same way that I'm trying to do them. So trust and believe, if you're out there and you're listening, if you got something going on, shout me out. I know a lot of people think that it's hard to make those connections and to expand their bubble and to reach out to other people. But, you just got to be willing to step out of that zone and make it happen for you. Not worrying about, what's it going to benefit you in the first place. You do this for you. So But back to the point, back to the fact of the matter is that this is Make It Make Sense podcast with your boy Meat Peaks. I struggled with that for a hot second. I'm not gonna lie. For those of you who know me, my name is Justin Peaks. Let me get into the mic real quick and just put on my deep voice. But no, I just had this conversation about changing my name because I was like, Justin Peaks is like so like not exciting when you say it out loud. I'm like, I need like a fancy name, so I tried to think of something cool. And I was like, I couldn't think of it. So I asked all my Facebook friends and my college friends, like, hey, y'all know me as Meat Peaks. You know, can I get away with Meat Peaks as a podcast? And I was like, I don't really want nobody to get the wrong idea and, you know, make it all sexual, which clearly that will happen no matter what I do. So I decided to just go with Justin Meat Peaks. I mean, if you know, you know. That's how it is. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, I was told that could be a part of the fun and the mystery of my podcast, figuring out why my nickname is Meat Peaks. Now, there are very few people in the world who actually know the true meaning why it is. And there are people who make assumptions all the time, and I'll just let them have their way and just say, okay, if that's what you came up with, you have at that and roll with it, son. But more importantly, so with this podcast, before I get too far back, let me go back to the original point of why I'm here. So this podcast is one of many ventures that I'm going to be undertaking throughout the duration of the rest of my life. This is not like a phase. This is not a phase. This is not a fad. This is something I'm going to be trying to put together for the rest of my life. So this podcast is going to happen regularly. I haven't decided on the schedule yet as far as like, do I want to do, like once a month, once a week, whatever. But the podcast is going to be a forever thing until I hit top tier status. I'm trying to get there. But also, for those of you who know me, I've decided to complete, if not start. I don't know where I'm at, what it is. I have to check. But I'm actually going to write another book. It'll be technically my 4th book of poetry. My first 2 books are out there, and then my 3rd book was technically both the first and second book combined, but it still counts as a publication, so I published 3 books, and I'm going to roll with that. But I'm going to actually do a 4th book of poetry. I'm actually going to get back into my lab and start penning out a 4th book. But on top of that, though, I'm actually going to put out a children's book as well. I've had this idea for a children's book in my head for a very long time. It's starring my own children. Shout out to the Carters. Ralph and his wife, they definitely do the same thing with their kids. They've made a legacy for them, and it's a great thing because I'm all about generational wealth. You will hear me talk about generational wealth throughout this podcast a lot. I will talk about generational wealth. I will talk about all those things that, you know, we as people, and by we, I mean black people, we don't talk about. You know, we've come so far, but we're still not far enough. So I'm definitely going to talk about things of that nature. But so the podcast, the books, my YouTube channel is going to have stuff like this on it. It's going to have like the behind the scenes of my podcast. So that way I have both the video and the audio. So you can listen to the podcast in the car. You can watch the podcast when I have guests and I have things going on for my facial expressions. Because obviously it's much funnier when you can see the faces I make when I'm talking versus just hearing it. So you'll have that. Also, I seen a little YouTube thing that was talking about food. I may throw some food stuff on my YouTube channel, but it's not gonna be like it was with me and Chanel. Unfortunately, it'll be like just like little quick edited clips of like how to's. Like it's called there's a YouTube channel. It's called Binging with Babish, and it's like 8, 9, 10-minute videos of this guy from I think it's called Babbage College Culinary University, and they or he shows, you know, just making quick meals, you know, voiceover, quick cuts, quick edits, just to really quickly put a meal together, just some basic stuff. And I'll probably do something like that because that looked really cool, and I still love to cook, and I would love to do another thing with Chanel in the future. So I'm just gonna build this up so that way I can get closer to that goal. But for now, though, podcast, you're gonna hear it on now, here and forever. I'm working to get my podcast put out there on all the different streaming medias, Apple Store, Spotify, so forth and so on. But for now, you'll find it on podbean.com. Like I said, Make It Make Sense is the name of the podcast. I'm your host, Justin Meek Peaks. We will continue this podcast into the future. I'm going to have some fun. And you know what? I really, really hope that the people that I consider my friends, and you know what? Fuck it. Even if you don't like me, if you don't even like me, if you hear, share this shit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm calling some people out on my other Facebook, not my other Facebook, but my other IG account. Because I heard something before, and it's funny that I thought about it. It was like, if you get, like, look at your story, and you get 300 views, but then you post something and only get 100 likes. That means people love watching you, but they don't like you. So, with that being said, if you saw that I posted that this is the new account on Instagram, you can find me on Instagram. Podcast Peaks is the name on Instagram. Make It Make Sense is the name of the podcast. Obviously, I need you to follow, whether you like me or not. And then if you don't like me, then just share. Like, just share. Like, just share it. Just fucking share it. If you don't want to hear me talk, if you don't want to see my face, and if you want to just fucking share it. And if you share it, then I'll be okay. As long as you share it, I'll be okay. Because again, look, I need your share, your follow, or your like. Then I need your comments. Okay? Because I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a thing. I'm gonna keep this train going. So just keep an eye out. Once I get my access to my YouTube channel, I won't be going live on Facebook necessarily. So I did post my YouTube channel on Facebook. Please go out there and follow my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Podcast Peaks. Just, come and enjoy the ride. Because like I said, and I look forward to having guests, and I look forward to talking to you guys about the things that you want to talk about. I'm gonna try my best not to get too political on certain things, but I have some shit to say that about politics here and there, and where we're at as a country and things like that, and like the vaccinations and all that stuff. But I want to have fun. I want to have fun, and I want to be able to talk to you guys from where I'm at in life, and trust and believe me, I don't have it all figured out. And that's why I want to do this. I want to do this because I want to tell you what I got. And then I want you to tell me what you got. And maybe if we put what we got separately together, maybe we'll start to find a solution. Maybe we can start to finally make things make sense. Like co-parenting, starting small businesses, eating healthy, finding dinosaurs and T-Rexes and shit. Like aliens. Who the fuck built Stonehenge? Let's figure this out. So maybe if we come together and put some stuff together, we can actually start to figure this out. Like, why do we have to play this game where it's like, oh no, it's my ball and I'm going home? Like, no, man, let's sit at the table. Let's sit at the table. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit y'all with one of my favorite spins on a saying. They always say in a relationship, when you're finding a partner, when you're looking for a partner, they always say, well, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring into the table? And I'm gonna tell you right now, as a man. Not as a man, but as the man that I am, I fucking hate that statement. Because it implies that you have already set up your own situation. It's already been set up. And you made a space for me, but that doesn't mean we built something. Like, we're not in equally. You feel what I'm saying? If you got a table and you got your plate, then you like, well, what do you bring to the table? Well, then shit, that means you only left me so much space, so I can't really say what I bring to the table because, how much space did you leave me? So I don't ask, what do you bring to the table? And this is from relationships, business partnerships, whatever. Just, I don't ask what people bring to the table. When people want to work with me, it's not a matter of what you bring to the table. Let's build this table together. If you need more space than I do, or if I need more space,
or we need a round table, or we need a breakfast nook, or we need a round table, whatever. We need an 8-foot table to sit 8, all the people, whatever we need to build it together. So that's what this is about. I want to build things together. If you know me, I'm not trying to save the world. Shout out to my brother, Jamie Minor. Happy Spider-Man Day, bro. But I'm not trying to save the world because I'm not a superhero. But I do know that I have a perspective and a way of seeing things that allows me to build with people and not tear people down. I'm not that person. I'm not that person that tear people down. 'Cause one, I'll tell you to your face, you ain't shit. And I'll tell you why you ain't shit. And then I'll tell you how you could be better. Or not. That's up to you. But I'm not gonna withhold the information. That's what it boils down to. I'm gonna tell you to your face what it is. So I welcome you guys to my podcast. I thank you for being here with me today. Look forward to the next episode. I didn't have any plans to do an episode next week, and I'm gonna tell you why. I didn't plan on doing an episode next week because I plan to be in Boston. I'm going to Martha's Vineyard. Now, for those of you who don't know what Martha's Vineyard is, let me go ahead and break it down for you. Martha's Vineyard, I'm going to say Martha's Vineyard is a little island of sorts that is in Boston, or Boston, Massachusetts area. And as far as I know, this is the island that the rich people hang out on. The Obamas have like 30 acres out there, right? So it's like star-studded island. So I'm going there this week for a wedding that I'm in. And then on top of that, if y'all didn't know, Barack Obama, Uncle Barack, former president of the United States of America, just announced that he's having a star-studded birthday party in Martha's Vineyard the same weekend I'm there. So I didn't plan on doing a podcast because, one, I'm not going to be in town. But two, chances are I'm going to be in federal prison or custody because I'm definitely trying to break into this party. Like, are you for real? I'm going to be on an island with celebrities? Like, they can't get away from me. It's like if I'm walking down the street to go get coffee and I walk into the coffee shop, which I don't drink coffee, so clearly that's a lie. Let me try it again. If I go down the street to the coffee shop to ask for tea or juice, because I'm not getting coffee, and Barack Obama is in that bitch, you think I'm not going to say nothing to him? Bruh, I hope my YouTube live is working by then, because I'm going live right then and there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm trying to break into Barack Obama's birthday party. I'm already going to be there for a wedding, so I already have a tux. They're not going to know that I'm not necessarily on the guest list. Like, I'm trying to get in there. And if I can, I will. And I'll go to jail for that. They won't keep me long, because once they figure out that I had no, like, intentions to hurt the president, like, I just want to kick it. Like, I just want to go to the party. So, I mean, honestly, so the wedding I'm going to is my younger cousin's wedding, and, his beautiful wife and her family, they visit Martha's Vineyard on a regular basis, so they might actually know the Obamas. So, like, unbeknownst to me, I might get there and they be like, hey, just so you know, we got an invitation to Barack's birthday party. And I'm like, yo, what you mean? And I'm in the wedding party, so I'm not like just like family coming to the wedding. Like, I'm in the wedding party, so I might actually have VIP access. You hear me? Ooh, could y'all imagine? Let y'all find out I was hanging out with the Barack Obama in Martha's Vineyard. Ooh, I'm telling you, because if I get in that, I'm going to slide in. And then look, I'm taking a tie and a bow tie. Only reason why is because if it's a party, they going to have like catering and stuff like that. I'm already in a tux. I already got on a vest. I just got to make sure I know which tie the serving staff is wearing, because I'll slide in with a tray of scrimp and some cocktail sauce, and I'm telling you, I just need one selfie with Michelle Obama. Now, let's be clear. I'm not going to do nothing dangerous, or I'm not going to hurt them, because I love the Obamas. I really do. I really do love the Obamas. And I'm going to tell you right now, I could die happy. I could die happy if I snuck into Barack Obama's 60th birthday party and just got to kick it for one. Bruh, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? So, so for those of you who know my mother is a pastor. And I'm going to tell you right now, my mother made the comment that we don't have to break into the party. We're already invited. So I know that it's not wrong, but I know it's not like something that you should do. You shouldn't pray for such material or such like vain things. But I'm telling you right now, I'm calling on the name of Jesus to get inside that party. Because if I can get inside that party, I ain't going to do nothing but thank God. Because I tell you what, I'm going to kung fu kick it. I'm going to kick it. You hear me? Kick it. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I see some people got some jokes in the comment section of my Facebook Live. And you know what, though? The funniest comment that I can see right now, the funniest thing I see right now is my vegan friend, who I have shouted out multiple times throughout this podcast. My vegan friend says that if I end up in jail, she's going to make t-shirts that say free meat. If that ain't the funniest and most ironic shit I have ever read in my life. Oh, shit. A vegan selling shirts that say free meat? Ah! Yo! The audacity, but it's so funny. You can have a shirt with chickens behind jail cells, cows, and then me in that bitch, and it just say free meat. I'm designing it. Yo, that's funny. I'm going to tell you right now, if this is the type of commentary I'm going to get when I make these videos while I'm recording these fucking podcasts, yo, this is going to be so much fun. So, yo, I'm going to laugh my ass off. So, with that being said, we have now reached the 41-minute mark of this recording. The live is obviously a little bit longer because I came in before the recording started. But I appreciate the shit out of y'all for being here with me this evening. Look forward to more Make It Make Sense with me. And you know what? That's a great way to end it on. That's a great way to end it on. Is you talking about a vegan making a shirt that say free meat on it. Make it make sense, people. I'm your host, Justin Meat Peaks. Free meat! That's what we're looking for, baby. So, signing off here on this podcast. I do not have outro music yet. It took me a day and a half to make my intro music, so I don't have outro music yet. So there will be no fade out. There will be no music. I don't have any commercials to play, not yet. But shout out to everybody who was here. Once again, man, please share this video. Share this podcast link. I am not going to beatbox. Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to beatbox. But share this podcast link. Share this video. Share your likes. Share your follows. Please. You know, I'm trying to get as many people as possible to follow me. When I checked my Instagram and I checked, my Facebook, I have like somewhere between 500 and 600 friends. Like, come on now. Like, even if you don't listen, even if you don't sign in with this, just give me a follow, please. Give me that like. Give me that share. Let me get my numbers up. I would like to hit 1,000 followers by the end of the year. That's what I would like to hit. I would like to hit 1,000 by the end of this year. I mean 2021, not 2022. By 2022, I'm trying to hit 5,000. I'm working my ass off. I'm putting in the work. This is gonna be real. Y'all gonna get episodes out of everything. I'm gonna just be going through my work week and be on this bitch and be like, let me tell you what happened, and just go with it. But again, appreciate y'all being here. I'm your host, Justin Meat Peaks. This is Make It Make Sense podcast, and I'm out. I'm not doing that shit. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.